Greetings, one and all. Welcome back to another episode of Whatever Happened To, the series where we take a where are they now look at players who found success in the National Hockey League but are no longer permanent fixtures in the league, either due to controversy, poor play, or just rotten luck. In today's episode, we are going to be taking a look at a former 30-goal scorer in the league, as we ask, whatever happened to Devin Setoguchi? After being selected 8th overall in the 2005 NHL Entry Draft by the San Jose Sharks, Devin Setoguchi spent the next 2 seasons in the WHL, split between the Saskatoon Blades and the Prince George Cougars, where the right winger potted 72 goals and 76 assists for 148 points in 120 regular season games, as well as 33 points in 25 playoff games. After spending the last 4 years in the juniors, Setoguchi was looking to crack the best league in the world as he turned pro, and it wouldn't be long until he got the chance. The 07-08 season saw Setoguchi expecting to start the year on the San Jose Sharks roster, but an early injury before the season forced him to be placed on injured reserve. After he recovered, Setoguchi started his season with the Worcester Sharks, San Jose's AHL affiliate, but after 2 games was called back up to San Jose. Setoguchi was sent back down a month later and spent his first pro season bouncing between the AHL and the NHL as the Canadian forward scored 8 goals and 11 assists for 19 points in 23 AHL games, as well as 11 goals and 6 assists for 17 points in 44 NHL games. Setoguchi played well enough to earn his first trip to the NHL playoffs, where he scored 2 points in 9 games, but the Sharks were eliminated in the second round by the Dallas Stars. Setoguchi had gotten his first taste of NHL hockey, and it wouldn't be long until he was back for more. The 08-09 NHL season saw Setoguchi stick with San Jose from training camp and play his first full season in the NHL. Setoguchi spent most of his sophomore season on the first line with San Jose legends Joe Thornton and Patrick Marleau, and rewarded the Sharks by scoring 31 goals and 34 assists for 65 points in 81 games, the best single-season production of his entire career. Setoguchi also added 3 points in 6 playoff games, but the Sharks were eliminated in the first round by the Anaheim Ducks. 4 years after he was drafted, Setoguchi was starting to live up to his potential as a former 8th overall pick. However, whilst Setoguchi's career had started off well, it wouldn't last as long as anyone had hoped. The 09-10 NHL season saw Setoguchi's numbers almost cut in half compared to the season prior, as he potted 20 goals and 16 assists for 36 points in 70 games. Setoguchi also scored 9 points in 15 playoff games, but the Sharks were eliminated in the conference finals by the Chicago Blackhawks. After his entry-level contract had expired, on July 31st, 2010, Setoguchi signed a 1-year contract extension worth $1.8 million to remain with the San Jose Sharks. The 10-11 NHL season saw Setoguchi earn his new contract through a slight increase in his numbers compared to last season, as he notched 22 goals and 19 assists for 41 points in 72 games. He also scored 10 points in 18 playoff games, but the Sharks were eliminated in the conference finals by the Vancouver Canucks. After his 1-year contract had expired, Setoguchi knew that he wanted to remain with the San Jose Sharks long term, as he loved the lifestyle he had built for himself and was willing to take a hometown discount in order to make it happen. So, on June 23rd, 2011, San Jose signed Setoguchi to a 3-year, $9 million contract extension worth an average annual value of $3 million a season. Just like that, Setoguchi had earned the first multi-million-dollar contract of his career and was looking forward to spending the next few years as a San Jose Shark. However, everything changed on June 24th, 2011, when it was announced that Devin Setoguchi, along with Charlie Coyle and a first-round pick, were traded to the Minnesota Wild in exchange for Brent Burns and a 2012 second-round pick. Just a day after he signed his contract extension, Setoguchi was moving away from the team he never wanted to leave and heading across the country to try and show San Jose that they made a mistake in trading him. Did he prove San Jose wrong? Well, not really. The 11-12 NHL season saw Setoguchi suit up for the Minnesota Wild for the first time, as the former first-round pick scored 19 goals and 17 assists for 36 points in 69 games, tied for his lowest point total so far in a full season in the NHL. This dip in production wasn't good enough to help Minnesota make the playoffs, as they missed out on postseason action. The 12-13 season began in a lockout, so like many other NHL players, Setoguchi signed with another team until the NHL season began. Setoguchi decided to take his talents to the Ontario Reign of the East Coast Hockey League, where the right winger scored 13 points in 10 games before the NHL season finally got underway and Setoguchi rejoined the Wild. The lockout-shortened season did nothing to help Setoguchi's point production, as he potted only 13 goals and 14 assists for 27 points in 48 games, his worst numbers since his rookie season. This production was good enough though to help Minnesota make the playoffs, where Setoguchi scored a single goal in 5 games, but Minnesota were eliminated in the first round by the Chicago Blackhawks. Then, on July 5th, 2013, Setoguchi was traded to the Winnipeg Jets in exchange for a 2014 second-round draft pick. After several years of declining point production, Setoguchi was getting his chance to start afresh with a Canadian team across the border and show that he still had plenty of fight left in him. However, things didn't work out so well. The 13-14 NHL season saw Setoguchi take to the ice with the Winnipeg Jets and equal his point production from last season, as he scored 11 goals and 16 assists for 27 points in 75 games. This production wasn't good enough to help the Jets make the playoffs though, as they missed out on the postseason. After such a promising start to his NHL career only a handful of seasons ago, Setoguchi was seeing his future career slip through his fingers. But the forward wasn't ready to give up just yet. After his 3-year contract he signed way back when he was with San Jose expired, and with his production seeing a steady decline over the last few seasons, there was little interest from NHL teams in signing Setoguchi. That is, until August 23, 2014, when he signed a 1-year, $750,000 contract with the Calgary Flames. Just like that, Setoguchi was about to play for his 4th NHL team and was looking to bounce back and become a productive player again after years of struggle. But things didn't work out that way. The 14-15 NHL season saw Setoguchi suit up for the Flames, as the former first-round pick looked to find a more permanent home in the league and return to his point production in seasons prior. However, Setoguchi was held pointless in his first 12 games with the Flames. As a result of his disappointing play, Setoguchi was placed on waivers, cleared waivers, and was reassigned to Calgary's affiliate, the Adirondack Flames of the AHL. After spending the last 7 years in the best league in the world, Setoguchi was seeing his NHL career quickly disappear. Setoguchi took to the ice for Adirondack for the remainder of the season and potted 3 goals and 7 assists for 10 points in 19 games. However, this production wasn't good enough to help the Flames make the AHL playoffs. As the 2015 off-season arrived, Setoguchi was having a hard time finding interest from NHL teams. However, Setoguchi was having bigger problems off the ice. Throughout his career, Setoguchi had indulged in alcohol when he was away from the rink and was known, especially in the early years of his career, to party excessively. He figured if he could enjoy a drink and go on to score a goal that night, what he was doing wasn't harming him all that much. However, things got progressively worse the longer he was in the league and the less productive he was being on the scoresheet. Setoguchi abused the prescription drug Ambien, which helps players sleep after games, and even tried cocaine when he was playing in Winnipeg. As you can imagine, word travels fast around the league and people heard about this, and it turned out that Setoguchi's latest contract with Calgary was prefaced on the fact that Setoguchi got clean and stayed away from alcohol. When Setoguchi broke that vow, he was sent to Adirondack. Things got a lot worse though during his season with the AHL Flames, as an injury forced him off the ice, giving him more time to drink and drink and drink, to the point where he was drinking 2 bottles of whiskey a day. It all caught up to him one day though, when a medical examination revealed that he had a stomach ulcer and liver problems as a result of his heavy drinking. Soon after learning about what he was doing to his body, Setoguchi enrolled in the NHL's substance abuse program. Setoguchi underwent extensive rehab and eventually sobered up. Having undergone treatment and having found light at the end of the tunnel, Setoguchi was ready to return to the NHL and finally take to the ice as a changed man. The 15-16 NHL season saw Setoguchi get a tryout with the Toronto Maple Leafs as they signed him to a PTO. However, he never made the opening night roster as he was released during training camp. Then, Setoguchi decided to take his talents overseas as he signed with HC Davos of the Swiss League, an opportunity that was given to him thanks in no small part to former Sharks teammate Joe Thornton, who played for Davos during the 04-05 and 12-13 lockouts. Just like that, Setoguchi was moving across the world in the hopes of getting his career back on track and to show that he still had gas left in the tank. Setoguchi had a strong outing with Davos, as the former first-round pick scored 11 goals and 13 assists for 24 points in 30 games with the Swiss side. He also added 8 points in 7 playoff games, as Davos made it to the NLA playoffs, but they were eliminated in the second round by SC Bern. Setoguchi had shown he could still play hockey at a very high level and had battled his off-ice demons. In return, the NHL was about to come knocking again. After a successful training camp and pre-season whilst on a PTO contract, on October 11th, 2016, on the eve of the 16-17 season, Setoguchi signed a 1-year, $575,000 contract with the Los Angeles Kings. After years of struggle both on and off the ice, Setoguchi was getting a second chance to prove he belonged in the best league in the world. The 16-17 NHL season saw Setoguchi suit up for the LA Kings and have a decent season back in the NHL, as the former first-round pick scored 4 goals and 8 assists for 12 points in 45 games. Setoguchi also spent a brief stint with the Ontario Reign of the AHL, LA's affiliate team, where he had 3 assists in 9 games. However, Setoguchi's NHL production wasn't good enough to help the LA Kings make the playoffs, as they missed out on postseason action. When the season ended and the 2017 off-season began, Setoguchi decided, rather than waiting in the hope of an NHL team signing him, he would take his talents to Europe once again, this time signing with Adler Manheim of the German DEL. The 17-18 season saw Setoguchi suit up for Manheim, as the Canadian forward potted 11 goals and 13 assists for 24 points in 47 games in his first season in Germany. He also scored 2 goals in 5 playoff games, as Manheim were eliminated in the semi-finals by EHC Munich. After last season ended, there has been little word on what Setoguchi is doing during the current 18-19 season. Although he was given an optional second year as part of his contract with Manheim, my researchers found no evidence of Setoguchi playing for Manheim on that second year option or signing for any other team. Setoguchi was interviewed during the 2018 Stanley Cup playoffs when Vegas played San Jose, and he said that he was going to take some time to figure out what his next step was. So perhaps he is still trying to decide what is best for himself and his family moving forwards. But regardless of what Setoguchi decides to do next, despite going through some really tough times, his NHL career still boasts some impressive numbers. In 516 NHL games, Setoguchi scored 131 goals and 130 assists for 261 points, as well as 25 points in 53 playoff games. To go roughly a point every other game for your entire career is not an easy thing to do, and it just goes to show you how talented of a hockey player Setoguchi was to have that kind of production in the best hockey league in the world. And there you go. That's what happened to Devin Setoguchi. What do you think about Setoguchi's career? Was it good, bad, or do you think he should sign a contract and continue his career? Also, is there another player that you would like me to look at as part of this series? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys think. But thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you have enjoyed. Please feel free to like, subscribe, share, or watch some of my other videos. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.